This is going to be a video tutorial of applying simulated Zimmerit texturing on the Tamiya Panther A turret using Tamiya's photo-etched Zimmerit applicator tools. Before we get to the demonstration, let's take a minute and look at a few different styles of Panther Zimmerit. So here we have a Panther with the turret number of 421. It's got the vertical Zimmerit pattern with horizontal lines cut between the rows and diagonal lines cut through that. Next up is some Zimmerit applied to the side of this turret with a square pattern etched into it. This is kind of an interesting picture. It shows a Panther at the factory just after receiving its coat of Zimmerit. It's in the traditional vertical pattern with a square crosshatch. And if you notice on the fender there, it's actually a horizontal pattern with a diamond crosshatch cut into it. This is kind of a rare application here. It's horizontally applied, which I think only approximately 50 Panthers left the factory with this style. And here's a close-up of that horizontal pattern. And here's another shot of turret 331, which appears to have the horizontal Zimmerit pattern on it. Here's a nice shot of turret number 232 with vertical Zimmerit and square pattern etched into it. And just a little bit closer up detail of turret 232. Here is a Panther A with a fairly smooth coat of Zimmerit with a square crosshatch pattern cut into it. And here's a shot of turret number 425. Again, this with the square pattern cut into it, but it looks like the Zimmerit was applied a little more hastily. It's a little rougher, but definitely doesn't have horizontal or vertical grooves in it. I always thought this was an interesting shot of these turrets here. In particular, the turret closest to us has the vertical pattern, but it has a diamond pattern crosshatch etched into it. And we're back to 421 here. This is the look that we're going to be going for. Vertical Zimmerit pattern rows with angles cut into it. I guess they're probably approximately at 45 degrees, but I don't think there's any exact science to that. Here is turret 132, again vertical rows with the angles etched in. This is the look we'll be going for. And just a little bit closer detail of turret 132. Here is some aftermarket Zimmerit being applied to this turret. This is the exact pattern that we are going for. Vertical rows with angled crosshatch to it. And one last detail shot. Ours should look pretty close to that, so I think we'll be happy with the results. So with that, let's get started. We'll take a look at the tools and materials that we're going to be using for this particular demonstration, so let's have a look. Okay, let's kick off the tools and materials review with the Tamiya Zimmerit coating applicator. This is the fret that it came on. As you can see, there's 3 tools for 0.5, and there's 3 that are missing that are 0.7. To me, for 1/35th scale, these 0.5 applicator tools, they just seem a little bit too small. I think they would be better suited for smaller scale armor, but that's just me. Here is one of the 0.7 applicators. This is the large one. I think this one is just the right size for what we're going to be doing. You're going to need a handy dandy rag. That's going to be for wiping off the tool, and also the putty knife, which is this one right here. It's an 1.5 inch putty knife. That's going to be our main tool for applying the paste to the model. I also have this style artist's knife here too, but I don't think we're going to be using it for this demonstration. You're going to need an old toothbrush, and I have a small paintbrush here. And for the Zimmerit, I'm using this Elmer's Carpenter's wood filler, and it is water cleanup, so that's going to be great. You're also going to need a bowl of warm water, and that's going to help in cleaning off your putty knife and applicator. Now, this is the turret that we're going to be working with. It's obviously from Tamiya's Panther A kit, and what you see right here is Squadron's green putty that I put on this turret literally over 20 years ago, and it did not turn out very well. The problem I was having with the green Squadron putty is that it would skin up and it would just dry too quickly for trying to use a screwdriver and put all of my vertical lines in there, and I just got so disgusted with it that I literally put this kit away for 20 years, and now I'm getting back to it, and we are going to try our hand at the vertical pattern and see if we can get satisfactory results. I think we're going to be able to. So let's get down to business, and we'll start this tutorial. Okay, without further delay, let's get this party started. We're going to start by putting some of this wood filler putty on the turret. And basically we're just going to try to get these 2 sides coated. I found that a thinner coat works better than if you were to put on a really thick coat. So try to kind of go a little on the thin side, but still get adequate coverage. And I'm just going to scrape off a little bit of the excess here and finish smoothing. Okay, that I think should be pretty good. Now I'm going to take the Zimmerit applicator tool, and as you can see, the applicator tool isn't wide enough to catch both the front and the back here, so I'm going to have to make 2 passes with it. I'm going to start at the back first and then finish up the front. So I'm just going to set the tool down on here and pull down, slide, 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 and down. And now I'm washing off the Zimmerit applicator tool. And anytime you wash the tool off, make sure you dry it really well, because since this is a water-soluble putty, if you get too much water back on there, it's going to kind of make it runny, and that's not going to be good. So to finish up the front side here, we're going to do the same technique. Set the tool down and down, pull, down, pull, down, pull, and just keep going like that. Okay. It doesn't look too bad. I have a small spot at the bottom there that I kind of want to touch up, so I'm just going to simply drag it down, and it's all better now. Lightly wipe off any excess, and as you can see, I kind of rolled the edge there a little bit, so I'm just going to take the tool, set it down, and lightly pull up and make that go away. And now to finish up the back half of the turret, I'm going to give the applicator tool a rinse and a dry. And same technique, we just got to pull down and pull at each of our lines there. Get this back into focus a little bit. Okay, and down, slide, down, slide, down, slide, until you finally get to the bottom there. That doesn't look too bad. I'm cleaning off the applicator tool again. So now that we have it to this point, I'm just going to lightly, my finger's wet, so I'm just going to kind of lightly clean up that back edge just a little bit. And that's pretty good. Now I'm going to go back to the putty knife that we used to put the initial coat of wood filler on there, and we're going to start drawing in our angled lines. And to do that, we're just simply going to press it onto the turret, kind of pull down a little bit. And we're just basically scribing in those lines, trying to keep consistent spacing and the angle the same. And now I'm going to go back and just wiping the putty knife off again. And now that I see my pattern going across the front here, I can finish up the front. So I'm just going to put that on there, pull. Just the last little one right there. And then I'm going to continue these other lines that I've made on the back side of the turret here. There's that one. There's that one. Okay, that's not too bad. Try to give you a little close up the best I can here. So far that is what it looks like. And with the same putty knife, you can chip the Zimmerit away just by simply scraping the wet wood filler. And we'll kind of get that going a little bit here. There's one little chip. We'll do another one maybe right up in here. There's some chipped Zimmerit. And I think we're going to take a little bit off the top edges here as well. Maybe I'll just do one right in here. And a little bit on this edge here. I'm going to take some off on that. That looks pretty good. And since we're a little light right back here in this corner, I'm just going to try to kind of chip that away too a little bit. And here's a little close-up of our chipped Zimmerit. And I think what we would normally call this done, and I guess I would let this dry overnight. It should dry fairly hard, harder than I would think like a drywall compound or something, because this is a wood filler. So I would let this dry overnight and go ahead and prime it, and I think you're ready to paint. The reason why I really like this wood filler is because it is water soluble, water cleanup. If you don't like how your pattern turned out and you want to do it over again, this is where the bowl of warm water comes in and the toothbrush. I hate to actually wash this off because this turned out pretty good, but if you're not happy with it, just simply take your old toothbrush, get it wet, and it'll scrub right off of there. Give it a little bit of a rinse, and you're ready to start over again and have another go at it. As you can see, there's no damage to the plastic at all. Versus other types of putties like Tamiya's white putty and Squadron green putty. You know, it'll eat into the plastic just like it did on me over 20 years ago right here. And I've since sanded this smooth, and the wood filler will cover that up, no problem at all. So I think that's going to be just fine. So I hope you really enjoyed this Zimmerit tutorial. Anytime I used to hear the word Zimmerit, it always used to make me nervous and cringe because I would think back to the old days of the old Squadron green putty and stuff like that, and now I'm not so nervous about it. It's actually a lot of fun. These Tamiya Zimmerit applicator tools are awesome. So it's fairly simple, and like I say, it's a lot of fun. If you screw it up, you can start over. You got nothing to lose. I forgot to mention that this wood filler was only $3.99. You can do quite a few models with this. You can screw them up and redo them probably 100 times over. So cost, you know, a very low cost and stuff like that. It's easy. It's fun. It brings the fun back into it. And I think I'm going to like doing the homemade Zimmerit versus the store or the factory made aftermarket stuff. You get a little bit more pride, I think, out of doing doing it yourself, and you know your patterns, you can make any type of pattern style that you want, with very good results. So hope you enjoyed this video and got something out of it. If I can do it, anybody can do it. So good luck and happy modeling.